These days, if you want to take a photo, all you need to do is take out your smartphone. But despite the smartphone's practicality, there are people who still take pride in using their vintage film cameras. Some even decide they'd like to be able to repair them themselves. Of course, they also need a seasoned mentor to train them in the art of camera repair. It just so happens that we found a class where such techniques are taught.
On a Sunday afternoon in Tokyo, a group of men is gathered around a table on which are what appear to be camera parts. Is this the meeting room of a camera manufacturer? Actually, this is a class on how to repair cameras taking place at a cultural center. In this popular course, the participants learn how to fix film cameras that are around 50 years old. Their instructor is Mr. Yoshiaki Taguchi. 7 years ago, he retired from a long career as a repair technician for a major camera retail chain. We asked him why he started this class.
カメラっていうものを教えてくれる場所がない。で、日本のなんていうんですかね、文化っていうんですかね、その技術を一般の方に開放するっていう文化がないんですね。
The camera repair course isn't to train professionals. It's for amateurs to learn as a hobby. With the right tools, old film cameras with manual focus can be repaired relatively easily. And so, it's an activity any enthusiast with the curiosity and patience to learn can pick up. Today's workshop will focus on the Nikon F, which was released in 1959. Models like this one that are between 40 and 60 years old with very few, if any, electronic parts make ideal projects for amateur camera doctors to try to fix. Why were cameras back then made to be easily repaired?
カメラメーカーは修理を前提に作ってますね。ですからその製造原価っていうものも一つの重要な要素だと思うんです。ですけども必ず壊れるわけですね。形あるもの。そのメンテナンスのコストをいかに安く仕上げるかっていうのを設計理論に入れたメーカーもあります。
The first part of today's class consisted of removing the pentaprism and viewfinder to clean the focusing screen that's underneath. They take out the small screws and wipe the condenser lens and matte focusing screen using cleansing fluids. They have to be careful not to lose any of those many tiny screws.
パーツごとに袋にこう入れて、で、そうすると合わせやすいじゃないですか。そうしていかないと分かんなくなっちゃう。ネジがどっか行っちゃったり。
で、もう100均でいっぱい袋持ってきて、もうこれでも分からなくなっちゃう。
This man's headlamp looks quite useful.
フィルムの昔フィルムケースで。
Combine a film canister and an LED, and voila, a homemade headlamp. Here, Mr. Taguchi is cutting up thin strips of adhesive film. The lens and focusing screen are superimposed, then fixed together by wrapping the adhesive film around their edges. The film is a substitute material that essentially matches the one that was originally used by the camera's manufacturer. All are hard at work in this somewhat intensive Sunday afternoon class, but each participant works at his own pace. Of course, conversations on the once highly coveted and highly priced Nikon F abound.
ボーナスをもらってニコンレンズをついてニコンを買うかペンタックスにレンズを50ミリ35ミリ135ミリをつけて買うかとどっちをしたって言ったらいややっぱりペンタックスの方に移ってしまう。
会社から借金をして買いました上司から根掘り葉掘り何に使うんだカメラ買いますアホかって言われたけど
Their next task is to remove the top cover of the camera's body. They must take off parts like the film advance lever and shutter speed dial to finally be able to detach the cover.
これ専用の工具でここに番号が打ってありますけど、これを入れて外す。
This assembly requires several types of small wrenches and screwdrivers.
当時はそれぞれ個々に合わせて専用工具があったんですけど、今僕たちはもうそれが手に入らないので既存の工具を加工して使うしかないわけですよね。それが一番楽しみですね。
The top is removed, revealing the intricate inner workings. Obviously, this piques the interest of all participants. The complex mechanisms of non-electronic cameras from that era are fascinating just to look at.
昔のこう機械はどういうふうになっていたかっていうのをこう紐解いていくのがで、動かないものは動くようにするってことはこう知恵比べ的なところがあって、これはこうなってんだ、こんなふうにしてたんだとか。
Getting the movement of each part as close to perfection as possible is challenging, but very rewarding.
直したカメラででも一度は撮りたい。
Film cameras are still fun in this digital age.
今若い方にも銀塩を撮りたいと言った時に、その銀塩の素晴らしさを知っていただければもうそれでいいかなと思いますよね。
Using a camera you repaired yourself sounds like a very satisfying hobby indeed. Getting up close and personal like this lets you appreciate details like the camera's design, its weight, and the feel of its movement. There's more than just one way to enjoy the cameras of yesterday.
We live in an age where most things we buy, even expensive things like electronics and cars, have a limited expected lifespan. Sure, we can send things in for repairs, but rarely can we make those repairs ourselves. It hasn't always been this way. For most of human history, people value their things by caring for them and repairing them and passing them down from generation to generation. I applaud people like the ones we just saw for keeping alive the spirit of self-sufficiency and appreciation for the true value of the things in our lives.